All right. So I'm Matt. Nice to meet you. Oh, there we go. Nice to meet you. Um, get into a little bit of tips and tricks on how to get a little quicker at programming drums and stuff. Yeah, just gonna teach you a few hotkeys. It'll hopefully help, and hopefully get you a little more familiar with the UI in general. Here I'll just start a new song so we can just have a clean slate. Blah blah blah. I'm not gonna pay attention to any of that. I'm gonna come in here, select my BPM. We'll go to 80. It's nice, low tempo, nice and easy to work with. First thing you want to do is go into your Browse tab and pull out your instrument. I'm sure you know how to do this part. Grab my Invasion kit. Now next thing is make yourself an edit box. You can just double click up here. It'll take a measure out. And you go down to your edit tab. And as long as you're on this instrument here, it'll pull up this. Um, the biggest thing is deciding what view you want. There's the keyboard view, which you can play on your keyboard and shit. I like having the drum view. This makes it a little easier for programming purposes. I'll show you why here in a second after we get a little bit laid out. The first thing I like to do is come in here and let's see, find your notes. So we'll take C, D is snare. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take out all of the notes to get me started, at least. Some of the sounds that I'll want. Let's grab a couple toms. Let's open hi-hat. Let's get a crash of some sort. And like a ride bell. So all of these now you have programmed. Why I like this view so much, and this button and especially, is because you don't want to have to like scroll up and down to find all these notes to be able to put them into the grid here. So you can hit this fancy thing, hit it again, and now it's just the notes that you've applied there. You can also tap it again to go back and add anything that you might want or anything later. Let's say I want that symbol in, hit it. Now it's in there. What I'll do with this is I'll usually just move it out of the way for now, just so I have all those notes ready to go, and I can start a new one. You can also go in here if you want to do the tedious process, but you have to do this every song. You can't like pre-save this for next time you go into a song to have it say all this, but you can go in here and you can program each name in here individually if you wanted to, like that. And now it's going to have it right there for you so you can see it. I don't really do that anymore. I did for a while and I just got tired of it. But yeah, let's make you a nice easy beat. Let's go eighth note beat. So, and then that's just going to be your simple eighth note beat. You can add some cymbals if you'd like. Blah, blah, blah. The next thing, quantizing. This can help you spruce it up. Right now we're in eighths. We can go all the way up to 64th notes. which when you zoom in, you can see is a lot of fucking notes. It's gonna have 16. Now what you can do also to make your life easier is anything that you have highlighted, you can hit D, and that's going to duplicate. So like that, I can just create a nice, easy little beat right there. It also works with up here, so like this whole measure, I like this drum measure that I made. I can hit D again, you know, it'll bring it over. Another thing that you can do, Shift D up here is going to pull this little ghost symbol up on it. But what that does is any change that I make to one of these, since they're identical twins now, it's going to do to the other one. So let's say, I don't like that. Let's do this one instead. And then these symbols, we're going to make the bell. And it does it for both different measures there, as you can see. Let's see. Oh, why I like this view better too is because even if you go over to the keyboard view, which is nice because you can see how long your notes will be played for, you have to do a lot of scrolling to get between your cymbals and your kick and snare. So I like this view. It just tidies everything up for you, makes it a little tighter and neater, so you can mess around. As far as like humanizing drums and drum fills. Let's see. Um, what I'll usually do, let's do like a. Oops. That's a little slow, I guess. Let's retry that. Let's go into 30-second notes. Grab 4 of those. Boop. Actually, let's do this. I don't like it as much as I thought I was going to. Okay. That doesn't matter. Alright, so something like that. In order to like humanize it and stuff, he's hitting those fucking drums super hard. So what we're gonna do is highlight these notes. We can reduce the velocity at which these notes are being hit at, to kind of like humanize it a little bit. You can get super meticulous if you want to, but there's little patterns that I found work that sound some of the best. Like this, you know, each initial hit on each thing is going to be hard and powerful, followed by a little roll afterwards, so it'll sound a little more human. You know, rather than kick, 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 kick. Let's see. If you already know that you have like a big section of notes coming up that you don't want to be hit very fast, let's say like a blast beat, what you want to do is come into here to your default velocity, and you can turn this down to whatever you desire. And now every note that you put down is going to be hit at that 40%. Nice and soft. Let's see, did I cover everything? Yeah, the biggest thing, quantize, you can use that to your advantage, you know. As you can tell, these are no longer on a grid. But if you're coming to 30 seconds, there they are. Auto scroll, pretty self-explanatory. If you know, it goes out of vision like this, we're gonna start here, turn this auto scroll off. It won't scroll with it. If you turn auto scroll on, it's now going to keep up with it. If you hover above these, you can zoom in and out with the scroll wheel, which helps. Anywhere that you place your mouse on, that's where it'll zoom in at, which is pretty handy if you're trying to get in there a little more meticulous. The next one, toggle snap. That's super important. I messed up a lot of songs early on because I didn't have the toggle snap on, and my timing just fell apart with my drums because I couldn't get it to line up, and I was still a super noob. But toggle snap will make it essentially to where everything will snap onto the grid. So if I have it turned off, wherever I have my mouse, in between these two lines, it's going to make it not on tempo, Where if I turn toggle snap on, now everything that I place, no matter if I'm dead even in the middle of that, it's going to end up on one of these grid markers. That's a big one. Let's say that you come in here and you're like, I hate all these kicks. I want way less kicks. So you get rid of them. You're like, I only want 8th note kicks. Whoops, actually in the 80. I want 8th note kicks. You're like, oh shit, that's way too slow. I actually don't like that. You can Control Z as many times as you like, but that's gonna, Control Z is essentially undo, just like a lot of computer softwares. Control Y is gonna be redo, so all those changes I just made I can bring back. It also stores a lot of this up for you in your history. Everything that I've done since I opened the software is saved in here. This is where we're at, which makes it super handy. If you accidentally mess something up, like, oh shit, I wasn't supposed to delete that, Control Z. Or, like, oh, I duplicated it, but I want it to be, identical. Shift D, after doing that. Control Y will redo. But yeah, biggest thing is right here, getting your layout, paying attention to your quantizing, that way it's easier for you to snap notes into place. You can spruce stuff up by placing more. And then, yeah, making sure snaps on if you want it on. You can turn it off. You can also come in here, like say I want a note that's over here, and you can drag anything wherever you want it. You can zoom in and drag something. Let's say I want a nice like fling snare sound. One right after the other there. Yeah, little shit like that though. But hope that helps out. Let me know if you got any more questions or if I missed anything. Feel free to shoot me a text or something. Anyways, bye. Thanks.